Man, the 2000s have been quite a revolutionary generation for music, hasn't it? Not to say previous generations didn't also change a lot, but rap, for example, has changed a ton very quickly compared to, say, the 90s, where a lot of the things were sounding pretty similar that were coming out for that 10 years. Join me as I look back at some of the pure examples of the swag era of rap, which exploded out of the underground in the early 2010s. A notable, popular rapper of the swag era is actually Mac Miller, rest in peace by the way, who exploded out of the underground with his album BDE Best Day Ever. One of my personal favorite songs by him is a song titled the same as his album, BDE Best Day Ever. Oh, and before I dive into the songs and recaps of the era, let me quickly explain why I call it the swag era of rap. You know, typically the lyrics of a rap song, or any given rap song, doesn't necessarily define an era, but more the style of the music itself, the sound, and the artists. If you look at them, you can compare them to what rappers did in the 90s in the West Coast, where they didn't want to be identified alongside the generic New York rapper kind of style. So, you know, they're throwing on stuff that trendy kids would have worn at the time. They're making music that just sounds appealing to the ears overall. You know, that's the swag era of rap. They were trying to keep up with what the kids were listening to mostly, as opposed to, say, what adults wanted to listen to, say, the 2000s rap, or, you know, maybe some early trap songs from T.I. or something. Anyways, back into the video. That isn't the only popular track that Mac Miller has released, however, as his songs released during that time, The Spins and Donald Trump, also released to high attraction and critical acclamation by critics. As for my opinion on the songs, I think they're alright as well, but I still prefer the song BDE, possibly due to some nostalgia influence, being as it was the first song I heard by him as a young teen. Once again, may he rest in peace, and hopefully he's in a better place. Let's jump into another artist who is also quite notable from this era. High Res, with his best known song being Smiling, with 3 Feet Tall coming in second place to his track record. High Res is easily one of the more recognizable names of this era, being that his music was consistently featured in very popular YouTubers' compilations and videos at the time, most notably trick shot compilations from Call of Duty. High Res isn't a highly mentioned rapper today, unlike Mac Miller, but he definitely left his mark in the era in which he rose to prominence in.
Yeah, we going in again, this is that intrusion. Spending like we got them ends, this is that conclusion. You should bring your friend again, I find that shit amusing. Take a shot, you see it now, you don't.
Henderson is the third mentioned for this video, being as he had many songs that can easily fit into this definition. Henderson had been at it for a long time, and he finally gained some tractions with his songs from this era, most notably In Love, Better Off, and All I Got. One of my personal favorite songs by Henderson, though, is a track that isn't very popular that also came out in the early 2010s, of course, named I Want You.
I'm drunk with a buzz, so I'm hoping I could be the one that you stay for, more than a day for. If love's a game, then your heart is what I play for. Yeah, she cold, but I'm feeling like Gretzky. If I forgive you, promise you won't forget me, yeah.
Forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow.
People know the song, sure, but in terms of popularity, it didn't spike as much as his other tracks. Henderson hasn't actually changed in terms of the music he creates, unlike some of the other people I will mention in this video, making songs that still sound similar to this era over on Spotify and YouTube. Definitely worth a listen. He's only gotten better indefinitely since then.
was 18 when everything changed.
Mike Stud. He's also a prominent artist of this era. Though he isn't talked about nearly as much as the aforementioned artists, he definitely has some tracks that will leave a mark forever. One of my favorite songs by him personally, which also happens to be another one of his popular tracks, is called Happy Ending. This song will definitely trigger some emotions from you, though granted you are made of stone, of course. Unfortunately, Mike Stud is one of the rappers here that has changed with the times, but you can't really blame rappers who do this, as they're only trying to keep up with the times and stay popular. He had a couple popular songs in recent years, but nothing that I would include into this style of music, or I should say, this era of music.
Take it back to the days when the sun wanna shine, but the birds still fly like they used to. And the chick that I love is making me go nuts in my ear, saying I don't wanna lose you. Come on, take me back to the days I know. Take me back to the days I know.
One of my favorite duets of all time, Moosh and Twist, are definitely not to be forgotten on this list either, with songs such as Take Me Back, All That I Know, and Hold It Down. They changed up their style like Mike Stud did to keep up with the time, and it feels like maybe it's just a maturity thing as well, since they were quite young when they first started making music. Take Me Back holds a very special place in my heart. It's actually the first song I ever heard in this era of rap. It's a song that got me hooked to it as a kid. I kept wanting to find it. I'll never forget how badly I wanted to look like Twist. But alas, I'm not white. And it doesn't work like that for me. I think I can conclude this video here. There are, of course, many more artists in this category I didn't mention. But I said the ones that mean the most to me, that had a big impact on my listening experience overall. This kind of rap is now declining. Hell, it's pretty much over. The time that it was alive, though, all the tracks. E-dubble. I forgot to do e-dubble. Fuck.
Living through a cycle of nightmares and they don't fight fair, but I'll be right here, hands up high with my parry arm up till I carry on up these dreams out the box, up the right stairs. And I've been fighting for a minute, a long list of givens that we chisel even if they cause schisms or a crack or a break in the mold.
E-dubble, easily the most prominent artist of this era. Every song he had coming out was a banger, whether it be from his Freestyle Friday series, from one of his albums, or any of the above. E-dubble came out on top a lot, and his songs were used a lot in COD stuff as well, most notably Vanoss Gaming and his crew's old videos.
They wanna rush in, cause a stampede, no handles flying like a banshee. They use cheat codes, but we don't cheat though. No cliff notes, homie, we don't need those.
Songs like Be a King, his freestyle Let Me Oh, Sidelines, What It Do, Drinking With My Headphones On, there's just too many things you can credit him for. He was an incredible artist, who also passed away unfortunately like Mac Miller. He contributed so much for the community, and opened doors for a lot of artists. May he rest in peace, his music will never be forgotten by anyone. Damn, I guess the video should be closing out now. Fuck it, let's do an honorable mention list. Chitty Bang, with their one track everyone knows, Opposite of Adults, being a kid sample from MGMT, of course everyone knows that. Pat Solo with his song Movin' Out, being the best known. Marvin Devine also had a few alright tracks coming out during this time, including Dreamers. And we'll throw one more in, On Cue. I actually only know one song by him, Breathe Me, but it's a pretty good track. I probably should have sat down and listened to more of On Cue's stuff at some given point in time, but I just haven't had enough faith just going off of Breathe Me that all of his songs are like that. So anyways, that's the swag era of rap and many of the artists who contributed to it. I'm sure a lot of people actually absolutely despised this era of rap, and you know, it's understandable. A lot of the songs are probably really cheesy to people who are used to different kinds of rap styles. But to me, it's easily my favorite category of rap. It falls second and third behind pop and grunge, which are major favorites of mine. However, that's still pretty high up on my list when you consider all the other music that I also listen to, and I am very open to a lot of music. So it's quite up there. Admittedly, I'm glad I got to grow up with it, listening to it, as opposed to discovering it later on, like, you know, how people born my age have to discover certain 80s songs that they like, or not have to, but you know, if they listen to it, they discover it and they like it. I'm glad I was alive during the time it was being made, is what I'm trying to say. Not that really matters, but whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please click like. If you like the channel, subscribe. I do a lot of videos like this, a lot of just talking about useless stuff that people like apparently, so that's great. Thank you for watching again. Goodbye.